Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about Uber scams driver out of money because of this glitch. So recently I got a DM on Instagram. Chef Varun, thank you so much for emailing me about this and making this video possible. And normally I don't like to go through DMs, but because people keep messaging me through them and I happen to be at the computer every time they message me, I felt a need to respond. And he shared with me a very interesting story of what took place on Uber Eats as of late. So with that said, I want to go over everything he explained to me in this conversation, what Uber told him versus how it actually is, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Hi brother, I had an issue and it was never resolved, and I spoke a number of customer service, including Twitter. What seems to be the problem? I got an order from Uber Eats for $22 for 11 miles. Such I took the order as it's slow. And when I reached the restaurant Taco Mac, I had this issue where the location, which shows 5 miles away from the restaurant. So I went there directly, picked the order, but it didn't let me complete pickup. According to the Uber app, the location is somewhere else. So there are certain times where the location in which is presented in the app is not necessarily where the actual restaurant is. And in those situations, what I would recommend is not only just not accepting the order to begin with or just unassign the order, but from now on, that store is on your no-go list. You don't know the real reason of why that's happening, and until it's repaired, it is irresponsible for you to work with restaurants like that. Maybe it's a technical glitch within the Uber app, and that's something they need to fix. Maybe the tablet is not working on their end, and they moved the pin once, and for some reason it's not going back. Or maybe that's exactly the problem, where they're a food truck, and they were there at one point, and then they moved. Or the restaurant was there at one point, and then they moved. But they refused to remedy the problem within their tablets. That is a major issue. That's gonna cause you more harm than good. Don't do that. It's more hassle than it's worth. After I spoke to the support person, told me to text customer for the address and he would take care of the payment. The location turned out to be 14 miles, but I still finished and I came back to support, spoke to 3 people, and one lady in support canceled and told me to move ahead with the next. I kept talking to every support. They transferred the message to one lady and gave me a $6 as in compensation, which Uber Eats never does. Till now, I spoke to every support, etc., and no one helped. So the order was supposed to be $22 and 11 miles. Then, because the location in which they were supposed to pick it up from was off, it ended up being 14 miles. And instead of receiving $22, you only received $6. That's embarrassing. Uber needs to do better in that regard. I know that support agents are just the north side of useless in every way, but this is a huge problem. Like, way to scam drivers out of serious amounts of money. And we all know what support does. They barely speak English. They tell you the same thing over and over again, expecting you to understand it if they just say the same thing over and over again. And they just put you through transfer loops. You gotta ask for supervisors. You gotta explain that they violated the contract, that you actually delivered the order, and everything else that goes into that. And way to actually make yourself liable to a lawsuit. Except you can't do that because most likely this person did not opt out of arbitration, and because he didn't opt out of arbitration, he would have to go through arbitration, which is basically Uber paying a guy to tell you that you're wrong, and you gotta just live with that. I had the same issue before. I know the way. I came directly. Is there anything you can do to fix to show that I picked up? Don't worry, let me help you with this and you will receive payment for this order. Payment? Thanks for sharing the order details. Varun Kumar, I understand that this situation would be upsetting you, but you can call the customer through the app to let them know about the issue, request their address if needed, and confirm that their order is on the way. Yeah, this is exactly why I would not even deal with chat support. Chat support is the north side of useless. Personally, I would have just unassigned this right away. I wouldn't have even done any of this with support because it's just a headache and they're useless. They're absolutely useless in this way. How many people work there and not one of them can do their job? But that's kind of the point too. too. It's not supposed to actually support you. It's supposed to put you through enough headache to where eventually you would just give up anyway. I already have the order. Here's how. Tap the phone labeled contact. Within the order details, tap the 3 vertical dots next to the customer name. Basically, they're not even listening to the guy. They're just shoving a tutorial up his ass. But if I deliver, even without completing the pickup, it won't let me finish the delivery, nor would I be paid, right? Don't worry if you face any issue at the drop-off location. Please let us know and we will be happy to assist you with this. Okay, let's say you're actually going through it with the customer support, right? You're actually in the middle of the process. First of all, this should always have been done on the phone. Nothing else. Second, call them and do not let them hang up the phone until they do their goddamn job. Make as much noise about it as possible. Be as much of a Karen as possible. I don't understand why people would consider standing up for yourself being a Karen. Yes, there are Karen things where you're taking it too far and you're just feeling entitled, right? But at the same time, why is it that being a Karen and standing up for what you believe is right and making sure something gets done properly is considered being a Karen? Anybody who says that the customer service agent is in the right and they shouldn't be so mean to them is either coddling in customer service themselves on the phone teams doing these exact things, or they're just so dense and not understanding how this is such a huge issue that they just refuse to acknowledge the problem. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a combination of the three. Now, he has a conversation with Rai K about how to actually get to his place and actually deliver the order. And of course, when he finally gets it done, asks for support. They cancel the order instead of actually marking the order as complete, which is 100% possible on their ends. They've done that before. The trip will appear in the app as canceled, but don't worry, it won't affect your ratings. But you're not going to be paid. I deliver the food. I haven't gotten paid for this delivery, and you did the delivery. No worries, Varun Kumar. You will receive $6 for this order. That's a $22 delivery. You're trying to shove $6 in there, trying to scam him out of $6. That's really disgusting. And you will receive your tip an hour after your order is complete and checking again. If you still disagree with the amount you received, please let us know. You pay the amount that you agreed to with the contract that you received. That's exactly why I would be on the phone with these people. Pay me the amount that you offered me. Do not violate the contract with your piss poor integrity and character of the failures of Uber support. I don't know why you would say you'll see or thank you. I would be on their ass about it. I would never let a support agent go until the actual issue is resolved. If they refuse to do their job, they need to be held accountable. And of course, with the 17 miles of driving and the $22.01 order that you were forced to end up doing because the order ended up not being picked up in a proper location and the app screwed up, they basically made it sound like you were the problem. I love how the map didn't even load for you there, and they're trying to hide the fact that they scammed you as opposed to actually doing their job. Now, all of these support agents just basically told them the same thing. Wait 48 hours, we'll see what we could do, disconnects, all that good stuff. But it's really frustrating that anybody has to go through that just to be paid what they're freaking owed. And a lot of times, or 99% of times, Uber sends orders from closed restaurants. Weird part is even after me personally updating with all the restaurants which are closed near me, after listening to my rant, the dumb support apologized and said if the order came to you, that means the restaurant accepted it. I am a chef too. We don't accept the order. They just come straight in the kitchen. It's amazing how the support agents don't even know how it freaking works down here, yet they'll claim as if it does. How many people are back there that just can't even think on their own anymore? Like, what kind of bleach are you putting in your coffee that you think that you can have any opinion from the Philippines on the restaurants down here on having any opinion on how this works? Seriously, get a third of a brain cell, please. My concern is, how can they just do that? I just do it for fun and drive around with my girl and still earn some. LOL. The support is dumb as hell. They are dumb as hell. So as I said, I'm just gonna wrap it up like this. Never work with chat support, and don't take a order that is going to a location that doesn't fit to where the pickup is supposed to be. It's one thing if it's like the order is in a shopping center and then there's a slight discrepancy from the road to the actual store. That's one issue. But if it's 5 mile different, yeah, no, that's not okay. Can't do that. It sounds like a one-off thing until you condone it by making the same mistake over and over again and expecting a different result. And as I said, I would be on the phone with them. I would explain to them that they breached the contract, and I would basically maintain a very monotoned tone, asking for a supervisor and making sure that I was paid the $22.01 that was promised to me via the contract that you violated, and to please make sure I was compensated properly. And I would literally do that for as long as I had to. Sometimes I've spent 20 minutes on the phone, 30 minutes on the phone, just trying to talk to that one supervisor. Sometimes even longer than that. With all the times that support likes to hang up on me, pick up again, hang up on me, pick up again, send me through transfer loops, they make it such a nightmare that you have to be an asshole about it. Like, a lot of people wonder why we're so angry with support. We're so angry with the company. And the sad part is this is not a gig company exclusive problem. Every form of customer service is doing this to a certain degree. I'm having an issue with T-Mobile at the moment, to where I'm supposed to be receiving free Netflix with the account that I have received. Right now, there has been a huge issue to where they won't give me the free Netflix that was promised to me via this account. And I'm at the point to where I'm ready to just sue them into the ground. Now also, T-Mobile is looking into the issue and they're actually fixing it. The only reason why I haven't done anything is because the one person that I've been working with as often as I have been has been really good about making sure the problem is fixed and sending it to the escalation teams and blah, blah, blah. But nevertheless, I'm making sure that I'm getting my free Netflix account. You can't promise something that is supposed to be attached to a deal that you signed a contract with me and you refuse to fulfill your end of the contract. Why do these companies choose not to do their jobs so goddamn often? Seriously. Either way, let me know what you guys think of this. If you guys also want to tell me a story about something that happened to you, my email is drivenwyld@gmail.com. And who knows, maybe you'll get a shout out in a video as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.